Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Good to see you. We have some great news today. Mr. Gary Gensler is getting petitioned to be fired, so it's kind of exciting and interesting. And I had a link to the petition. If any of my mods have it, can you throw it in the live chat? Because for some reason I can't find it now. But anyways, good to see everybody. Let's see who's here. Mr. Yeti, good to see you, my man. We have Condibits, a pirate. Royce, good to see you. Royce's Adventures, actually. Duke Nukem, Steven Cicero, Dom G, Carl Coate. Good to see you guys. Chadwick's Racing, Magic Lucky. How do you guys feel about this whole Gary Gensler thing? Pretty awesome, right? I'll put a poll in the chat in just a second. Anybody else that I missed? Triple D Innovations, Dumpster Fire, Sloth Squatch. Appreciate you guys. All right, let's get this thing going. Let's see how we're looking over here. Crypto bubbles today. Look at this. On the day, everything is green, and I wonder if it's in lieu of, you know, RIP Gary. Let me get some music on here. 1 second. Let me get Spotify open. There we go. Perfect. Get something going. All right. We have everything. Everything looks pretty much just up. Not too crazy, though. What's this? This is still that Luna shit. Terra Classic. I don't understand why this is still here. Why? Why is this going up and down like crazy all the time? People are still buying it. Like, if you are, just get out. It's insane. Anyways, BTC 26,323. We have Ethereum 1757. Everything's looking pretty good. Doge is still down under 7 cents at 6, just over 6. Litecoin 79 bucks. Jeez. I mean, things will start bouncing back, but this is kind of weird to see this in the deep green. 245 BNB. Today, actually, if you guys don't know, is also the first day that Binance is going to be a crypto only exchange. So there's no more USD, or sorry, Binance.us. There's no more USD transfers. I'm assuming Binance itself as well, but I don't know. You guys let me know. Anybody uses Binance, please keep me posted in the chat. We have the Fear and Greed Index at 45. We're actually in the fear territory today. Wow, exciting. Look at that. All right, top 10 coins by coin market cap, and then we'll get into the news of the day. We have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, XRP, USD Coin, Lado Staked Ether, Cardano, Dogecoin, and Tron. It's kind of impressive that Dogecoin's still in 9th place. Huh. Interesting. Green is good, says Carl Coate. Unfortunately, change.org petitions don't mean squat. Oh, really? Okay. All right, perfect. Steven Cicero, thank you very much. Let's see. Let me get this open here, and then I'll show you guys the petition. 1 second. I don't know why I couldn't find this for some reason. All right, so this is it. Fire Gary Gensler as the SEC chairman, so you guys can put your stuff in right here. And yeah, that's it. Started November 30th. What the hell? 2021. God damn, he's such a creepy fuck. Look at this guy. He's such a creepy bastard. Anyways, all right, let's get out of here. I can't even look at him. It's terrible. All right, let's check this out. So, breaking: U.S. lawmakers file SEC Stabilization Act to fire Gary Gensler. It says U.S. capital markets must be protected from the tyrannical chairman, including the current one. Representative Warren Davidson wrote in reference to SEC head Gary Gensler. Yeah, so United States Rep. Warren Davidson has introduced the SEC Stabilization Act, in quotations, it says, into the House of Representatives, announced on June 12th. One of the bill's main provisions is to fire Securities and Exchange Commission's, the SEC, chair Gary Gensler. Davidson said in his statement, U.S. capital markets must be protected from a tyrannical chairman, including the current one. He said, that's why I'm introducing legislation to fix the ongoing abuse of power and ensure protection that is in the best interest of the market for years to come. It's time for real reform and to fire Gary Gensler as chair of the SEC. I'm glad at least they see it, right? Because at the end of the day, what he's doing, Gary Gensler, is just forcing people or crypto to go overseas, and that's not a good thing overall. Davidson declared his intention to introduce the bill earlier this year. He made that announcement in reply to a tweet by Coinbase legal chief Paul Grewal. Representative Tom Emmer is the co-author of the bill. Emmer said the SEC Stabilization Act will make common sense changes to ensure that the SEC's priorities are with the investors they are charged to protect and not the whims of its reckless chair. So this guy, Davidson, he hates Gary Gensler. I don't know if you guys remember when he was literally sitting in front of them and they were just tearing Gensler apart. I'm assuming you guys know this. But yeah, I guess let's continue on. It says, according to Fox News, the bill would remove Gensler from the office and redistribute power between the SEC chair and commissioners. It would also add a sixth commissioner to the agency, disallow any party from holding a majority on the commission, and create an executive director position, which is so more or less, so it'll be split between 6 different people and they'd all have an equal say. That's what I'm getting out of that. Although the lawmakers did not mention cryptocurrency in their statement, both Davidson and Emmer are known to be pro-crypto and critical of Gensler's leadership at the SEC. Emmer has, for example, called Gensler a bad faith regulator, and Davidson is the vice chair of the House Financial Services Committee, new subcommittee on digital assets, financial technology, and inclusion. Any SEC spokesman declined to comment when approached by Cointelegraph, which isn't really surprising because that kind of sucks for them. But my man, or this guy over here, Austin, over at Altcoin Daily, I can't really say my man because he's putting out some shit chills lately. I don't know if you guys saw the other one he posted after this. We'll go back to this. Let's look. This one right here. I don't know. Man, this is terrible. I love Altcoin Daily, man, but they got to stop doing these little promo videos of this. I don't know. Clearly getting paid to do these, but regardless, they have this breaking news video right here. So let's watch this. A little loud. I apologize for that, but let's see what he has to say over here. And if there's any ads in between, we'll skip. And just if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask.
Breaking news, U.S. lawmakers have filed what's being called the SEC Stabilization Act with the intended purpose to fire SEC Chair Gary Gensler and restructure the SEC agency. Like this video, engage with this video, post this video all over social media. This bill will have a much better chance of passing if we get this information out there to as many people as possible. Gary Gensler has done much more harm to the crypto industry in America than good. And that's not just me saying that, that's our representatives.
The biggest crypto failure in history is probably FTX at $9 billion. Were you the chairman of the SEC when FTX collapsed?
Yes.
And how many times did you meet with FTX prior to their collapse?
I think my public record shows 2.
You met it with FTX at least twice. And arguably, the second biggest crypto failure in history was Terra Luna. Who was the chairman of the SEC when Terra Luna collapsed, sir?
We had brought...
You were, sir, reclaiming my time. You were. Does it concern you that your approach to the digital asset industry is actually driving this industry out of the United States?
We're trying to drive it to compliance, and if they're not complying with the laws...
You say the crypto market is rife with non-compliance. However, existing SEC rules make no sense for blockchain-based companies, and following them would actually kill these businesses. Your regulatory style lacks flexibility and nuance, and as a result, you've been an incompetent cop on the beat, doing nothing to protect everyday Americans.
If you believe...
He ripped him a new one during that session, and it was excellent.
Crypto belongs in America. If you believe that America deserves to be the tech and innovation capital of the world, if you believe fair guidelines should be in place for crypto in America, again, engage with this video, share with a friend. SEC Chair Gary Gensler is a known enemy of the crypto space.
Hucksters, fraudsters, scam artists, Ponzi schemes.
We don't need more digital currency. We already have digital currency. It's called the US dollar. It's called the euro. They're all digital right
Oh, really? Are they? Are they?
now. We already have digital investments. It's all digital right now, the investing world.
See, Gary Gensler took the job of SEC chair back in 2021, and at this time, we all thought there was a chance that Gary Gensler would regulate the crypto markets fairly. On account of his rhetoric and teachings at MIT in 2018, it seemed pretty fair.
We don't actually know who Satoshi Nakamoto is. but it's a study question a few lectures from now to ask you to tell me who you think Satoshi Nakamoto is. So I won't ask that now. Bitcoin right now is about 550,000 blocks, and the blocks are added on average every 10 minutes. And we'll talk about why it's every 10 minutes, and not only why Satoshi Nakamoto made it every 10 minutes, but how they maintain that. Other blockchains like Ethereum, it's about every 7 seconds. So don't get too caught up that it's all the same. And there's some technologists here, Silvio Micali is working on Algorand, and that's even tighter, less than 7 seconds.
This clip, what Gary Gensler says right here, is the most revealing to me.
So we already know in the US and in many other jurisdictions that 3/4 of the market are not ICOs or not what would be called securities. Even in the US, Canada, and Taiwan, the 3 jurisdictions that follow something similar to the Howey test, 3/4 of the market is non-securities. It's just a commodity, a cash crypto.
Oh, really?
So you'll hear debates about initial coin offerings and what's a security and what's not a security. Relevant and important debate. But for 3/4 of the market, it's not particularly relevant as a legal matter.
What we failed to consider about Gary Gensler.
It's quite interesting. It's not relevant as a legal matter, but yet he brings legal action against all these companies.
Is Goldman Gary was a former Goldman Sachs partner and former CFO for Hillary Clinton's 2016 presidential run. Goldman Sachs and Hillary Clinton are known crypto haters.
And then one more area that I hope nation states start paying greater attention to is the rise of cryptocurrency. Because what looks like a very interesting and somewhat exotic effort to literally mine new coins in order to trade with them has the potential for undermining currencies, for undermining the role of the dollar as the reserve currency, for destabilizing nations, perhaps starting with small ones, but going much larger.
It seems that Gary Gensler sold out on whatever principles he had to do the bidding of those who guaranteed him the SEC job. Because Gary Gensler seems to take every opportunity he can to blame crypto for whatever problems come up. Do you remember when Signature, Silvergate, and SVB banks collapsed earlier this year? These were crypto-friendly banks, but the reason they collapsed had nothing to do with them doing business with crypto. Gary Gensler blamed crypto for the failure of these banks on a Tuesday House hearing, only to be corrected Wednesday with the truth of the events. This is despicable.
There were 3 banks that failed in those handful of days, those 4 or 5 days. And 2 of those banks, the first and the third that failed, Silvergate and Signature, were engaged in the crypto business. I mean, some would say they were,
that's not why they
banks.
failed.
So it's interesting just how this was all had some crypto narrative as well.
It is a misnomer that the failure of Signature Bank was related to crypto. What we saw with Signature Bank is that it had a new-fashioned bank run, and the outflow of deposits were from a broad depositor base, including wholesale food vendors, fiduciaries, trust accounts, law firms. And in fact, the outflow of crypto deposits were in exact proportion to their representation in the depositor base overall. And in fact, some of those deposit outflows were actually pre-planned. So it's, of course, unfortunate that there was a run on the bank at Signature prompted by what we saw with SVB, but it is not the case that the failure of Signature was related to crypto.
I am so happy she just put him in his place. I didn't watch the rest of this video. that is great, but she is 100% correct. It is not because of crypto. Eat shit, Gary. Just saying.
Enough is enough. Personally, I just hope that enough people in America see this and understand this so that they can take action with their lawmakers. Because U.S. lawmakers have now filed what's being called the SEC Stabilization Act to fire Gary Gensler. Understand what we're trying to push forward. 2 House Republicans have partnered on a bill to kick Gary Gensler to the curb and restructure the Securities and Exchange Commission. Representative Warren Davidson, Republican from Ohio, and House Majority Whip Tom Emmer, Republican from Minnesota, introduced the SEC Stabilization Act Monday. Quote from Davidson, U.S. capital markets must be protected from a tyrannical chairman, including the current one. I'm introducing legislation to fix the ongoing abuse of power and ensure protection that is in the best interest of the market for years to come. The bill suggests that the SEC remove the chair position, which Gary Gensler currently holds, and instead appoint an executive director to oversee operations. Quote from House Majority Whip Tom Emmer, "American investors and industry deserve clear and consistent oversight, not political gamesmanship. The
100%.
SEC Stabilization Act will make common sense changes to ensure that the SEC's priorities are with the investors they are charged to protect and not the whims of the reckless chair." A number of influential Republican lawmakers of late have continued their criticism of Gensler's agenda and particularly his approach to crypto. The majority is in agreement on this. Regulation by enforcement is not an appropriate way to govern a market adequately, protect customers, or promote innovation.
He's just destroying the economy in crypto. All right, he's just going to shill his Miami stuff. So shout out to Altcoin Daily for this video, but not the other ones he's been putting out lately. Anyways, what do you guys think about this? How crazy is that? It's absolutely nuts, I think, personally. I actually just wanted to read this. I was kind of looking and seeing if there was anything new that I could find with just in general Binance or the SEC stuff. So this is from Cointelegraph. Let's see what this is about. It says all of the SEC's claims fail. Binance US or .US rebuts motion to freeze funds. Binance.US has lodged its defense ahead of June 13th hearing on whether its funds will be frozen. This is new to me. So what, the SEC is claiming to freeze their funds? Let's start here. In June 12th filing, Binance.US slammed the Securities and Exchange Commission's emergency motion for a temporary restraining order on its business, calling it draconian, I can't read that, and undoubtedly burdensome. The hearing on the temporary restraining order is scheduled for June 13th in the U.S. District Court. Oh, that's right. They're going today. That's right. That's right. Let's see. John Reed Stark, SEC Binance Newsflash. Binance CZ and the BAM defendants just filed lengthy opposition pleadings to the SEC emergency action. Find the links. So this is just a tweet. All right, this is a tweet to the whole thing. They actually just are trying to fight it. Binance.US argued that the restraining order would force the closure of BAM Trading Services Inc., an entity that provides crypto trading and exchange services for Binance.US, stating the requested relief would primarily harm BAM's customers, effectively put BAM out of business, and prevent BAM from defending itself in this legislation. What does BAM stand for? Let me see. BAM. I'm like so lost. What does BAM stand for? BAM Management US Holdings. Sorry guys, trying to catch up on this, trying to see what's going on. I haven't been involved in crypto all day yesterday, so there's a lot of shit that happened clearly. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with this. I'm not gonna read this entire thing. What do you guys think about this whole thing? Are you guys still in Binance? Are you guys still using Binance? I mean, obviously now it's going to be a crypto only exchange, but I want to know, actually, you know what? Let's go to, how do I just friggin' Twitter? If I could spell it right. Just go to Twitter and see. I want to go to Binance, see if there's anything that I could search. Why doesn't it let me search? Can I not search if I'm not signed in? God, that's so stupid. All right, give me a second. I think BAM is part of Binance. Yeah, I've never heard of BAM. I'm like trying to figure out what the hell it is. Let me see. All right, give me a second. Let me log into my Twitter. All right, let's see. I want to see if Binance has any news today. Binance US. Let's see. That was pinned on June 8th. I read this. I actually did a video on that as well. All right, so I just said nothing else since. This is the them closing down to a normal exchange. Let's see. Let's go to CZ, see what he says, see if he says anything about today. Nothing. Dude, legit, horny dudes make all these video games. Like, it's like half naked girls. It's like all they do, just make naked characters. Strong wind, stronger trees. What is this? What's happening? All right, so there's clearly nothing going on with Binance this morning. 17 hours ago. What's this? What is this? Cointelegraph. Bank of China issues 28 million in digital structured notes on Ethereum blockchain. What is this about? On June 12th, Bank of China's investment bank subsidiary BOCI announced the issuance of 200 million Chinese yuan, $28 million worth of digital structured notes minted on Ethereum blockchain. The move makes BOCI the first Chinese financial institution to issue a tokenized security in Hong Kong. Investments banking company USB helped originate the product for placement to its client in the Asian Pacific region. Ying Wang, the deputy CEO of BOCI, commented. Working together with USB, we are driving the simplification of digital asset markets and products for customers in Asia Pacific through the development of blockchain-based digital structured products designed specifically for customers in Asia Pacific. I don't know if this even friggin' matters. What is going on here? Does it matter that much? Actually, I don't think that's very means anything, actually. All right, I'm getting out of this. All right, let's see what you guys have. I only have a few minutes left before I got to get out of here. But what are you guys' comments? Everything's still good for Audit Wednesday? Probably not, Yeti, because I have a bunch of shit I have to do this week. I'm not going to be streaming in the afternoons at all. As far as I know, as of right now, anyways. Let's see. Game of Smokey Dan. Male Armor is a game. Oh, gotcha. Talking about the gaming comment that I made. Yeah, dude, it's legit. It's just like horny dudes all day. Just make these girl characters that are half naked. It's hysterical. No, it's the pirate. No, I have to. So we're doing. I'm cleaning out one of my rental properties. I have to do some shit. It's a pain in the ass. Yeti, you do what you want, buddy. Whatever you want. I don't have time. Real life's taking over this week, unfortunately. Let's see. Dumpster Fire says, love it. All right, I want to see what you guys think about this whole chairman thing. Is there anything else on it, actually? Let me see if I can find anything else. Cointelegraph. Go back there. Let's see if we can find anything else that's like important today. I don't think so. Oh, you know what? Let's check. Let me see if crypto. Actually, you know what? Coin Bureau. Let's go to them. Let's go to him and see if he says anything today. Crypto news, SEC crackdown, ETH insiders, 19-minute video. I don't know if I want to watch this whole thing. Let's start it. Let's see what he has to say. This is Coin Bureau over here on YouTube. So if you guys don't know who he is, go check him out. Let's see what this is all about.
Exchanges over the last few months. Welcome to the Coin Bureau Weekly News Roundup. Here are the top stories in crypto this week. Crypto market crash. Altcoins see their largest losses in months after the SEC cracks down on Binance and Coinbase. Why the pain may not be over yet. Ethereum insiders sell. One of Ethereum's co-founders sends over 10% of his ETH holdings to an exchange less than a month after the Ethereum Foundation sells millions. What does it mean for ETH? Surprise rate hikes. The Reserve Bank of Australia and the Bank of Canada raise interest rates in response to supposedly strong economic data. Will the Fed follow suit this Wednesday? Apple's AR ambitions. The world's largest company by market cap unveils its latest innovation, causing its share price to hit an all-time high. And
yeah, do you guys see this thing? This like VR thing from Apple? Kind of crazy.
Stocks to enter a new bull market. How could this affect crypto? And a closer look at last week's top performing cryptos and where they could be headed next. All this and more in just a moment.
Spit it out,
Good
Guy.
morning, afternoon, or evening. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Guy. None of what follows is
I'm
financial.
gonna jump forward right here.
Some of you might remember seeing the news that the Ethereum Foundation had sold roughly $30 million worth of ETH back in May. What you may not know is that many of the ETH sales by the foundation have coincidentally occurred around local tops for ETH's price. As such, there's been lots of speculation that ETH's price is about to plummet. This speculation increased last week when on-chain analysts noticed that Ethereum co-founder Jeffrey Wilker had transferred over $40 million worth of ETH from his wallet to Kraken, presumably to sell it. This is more significant than you think, because when you have that amount of ETH, the more rational decision is arguably to stake it. To put things into perspective, staking $40 million worth of ETH would generate a passive income of roughly $3 million per year with ETH's current staking rewards. Not only that, but the transfer accounted for more than 10% of Jeffrey's total ETH holdings. This begs the question of why he would sell rather than stake. Only Jeffrey knows the answer, but common sense suggests that he has a very big expense coming up that will require massive amounts of dry powder. It seems that Jeffrey isn't alone either. If you've been watching whale movements on-chain, you might have noticed that ETH whales have been sending large amounts of ETH to exchanges over the last few months. Again, transferring so much ETH to an exchange signals an intent to sell, not to hold. If you need any...
Well, I mean, would you hold a whole bunch of Ethereum if you had that much? Like what they just shown right here? Like this is so much money. Like why would you hold that in Ethereum if, you know, Gary Gensler's being a cocksucker? for lack of a better term. Honestly, like I would be terrified. I'm not going to leave $33 million in a security that's unregistered according to the US. Like no.
Than the recent whale movements for Matic. As reported by CoinDesk, millions of dollars of Matic were sent to Coinbase and Binance moments before its price collapsed. Similar whale movements were seen for the other altcoins that collapsed last week. However, this doesn't necessarily mean that ETH is going to dump because of some black swan. It could simply be the smart money taking profits during the rally we've seen since the start of the year. This would make sense considering the crypto market, and especially ETH, is facing macro headwinds. If you watched yesterday's video about the debt ceiling being raised, you'll know that the US government is in the process of refilling its bank account at the Fed. The practical effect of this is that up to $1 trillion of liquidity will be sucked out of the markets, causing prices to go down. ETH appears to be particularly sensitive to this liquidity drain, and it's probably because institutions love earning interests on their assets. This is why institutions love ETH, but it's also why institutions love US bonds. As interest rates on US bonds go up, the demand for ETH goes down because it's riskier to hold. And because the Fed appears to be near the end of its rate hiking cycle, institutions can buy US bonds knowing that either the interest on them will stay high or their price will rise. It's a win-win.
Just so you guys know, I'm only going to watch this. I'm going to stop it before the Apple stuff. I'm just going to listen to what he says about the surprise rate hikes.
Meanwhile, the SEC is cracking down on the crypto industry. Picking US bonds over ETH in this context makes sense. But this assumes that the Fed is, in fact, at the end of its rate hiking cycle, and this is by no means guaranteed. Recent surprise rate hikes by both the Reserve Bank of Australia and the Bank of Canada have led to speculation that the Fed will surprise with a rate hike of its own this Wednesday. This ultimately depends on the inflation figures, which come out tomorrow. If the CPI print for May comes in hotter than expected, investors will likely price in a higher chance of a rate hike. If the CPI print comes in cooler than expected, the Fed will probably pause or even skip. For reference, investors are currently pricing in a 30% chance that the Fed will raise interest rates again on Wednesday. A hot CPI print could take this percentage over 50%, but this percentage needs to be over 80% for there to be a consensus. If that consensus isn't reached, a rate hike will shock the markets. That said, it's not clear how much a rate hike, or a lack thereof, would affect the crypto market. In case you haven't noticed, the crypto market is a lot less correlated to the stock market these days. In theory, this is bullish, but in practice it's been bearish. Stocks have rallied while crypto has crashed. The trade-off is that the crypto market may not react as strongly to what happens tomorrow with the CPI and on Wednesday with the Fed. It's clear that the crypto market is being mainly moved by crypto-specific factors these days, but it doesn't mean that the macro factors are completely irrelevant. You can learn more about how macro factors affect the crypto market using the link in the description. Now, it's also important to note that even if the Fed hikes again, there's still no question that it's near the end of its rate hiking cycle. The main thing that matters to the markets now is how long the Fed will keep rates high for, and what it will take for the Fed to bring interest rates back down to zero. For the former, the Fed needs to see either clear signs that inflation is falling back down to its 2% target, or for unemployment to rise to a point that it's a problem. For the latter, it would require something in the financial system to break. So far, none of the above has happened. Literally, nothing has changed. To be fair, there was a bit of a banking crisis back in March, but the consensus seems to be that the biggest players have already gone down. There may be a few more banks that go under, but they won't be nearly as big as SVB or Signature and will therefore not have an impact on monetary policy. Now, it's possible that the Fed could pivot if the stock market crashes hard enough, but it's been rallying since last year's October lows. Believe it or not, but the S&P 500 is technically in a bull market as of last week. At the same time, the Fear and Greed Index for stocks is showing the highest level of greed in years. The caveat is that almost all the gains in the stock market have come from just 7 big names: Apple, Nvidia, Meta, Alphabet, Microsoft, Amazon, and Tesla. The other 493 stocks have basically been trading sideways or down. Never mind all the microcaps that have been getting wrecked.
All right, I'm going to kill it right here just because he's going to start talking about all this Apple stuff. But, yeah, shout out to Coin Bureau. If you guys aren't subbed to him, go check him out. Unfortunately, I just don't have enough time to sit here and dig into this today. But I'm sure there's going to be a lot more stuff coming out with this whole Gary Gensler being fired thing. So I guess we're going to have to see what, what comes of it. Really, that's all we can do. That is all we can do. There's a bunch of stuff, like, if you Google it at all, anything from just Gary Gensler fired, right? There's so many different sites that have just articles, but they're all pretty much the same shit. So I guess we're gonna have to see what happens in the next couple days. I'm super interested to know, but yeah, it's all pretty much the same stuff. But yeah, I mean, you guys can just Google any of that. I have some links in the description below with the Cointelegraph's article, the one we read over, and then Altcoin Daily's video, which was actually pretty good. So shout out to them for doing that video. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm exhausted today. I just had a lot of stuff to do yesterday, and I got another long day ahead of me today. So I won't see you guys this afternoon. I'll try to do tomorrow's stream if I can in the afternoon, but it's just gonna be tough. So it really depends how good we get through things today. Mr. Condibits, I agree. I hope Gary poops his pants at work today. And then Condibit says, never trust a fart. And then he tags you. You guys are ridiculous. Love you all. You guys are awesome. Hopefully you guys have a good Tuesday. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. I'm not sure, again, if I'll be streaming tomorrow afternoon, but this afternoon I won't be able to. Either way, I'll try to put out some shorts if I can. So have a good day. Happy Tuesday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Peace out.